A couple of people have commented that, hey, the monthly market is over. It's done. Let's stop defending it. It's legacy. It's. Why are we even doing this? It's old. In fact, the people who are trying to support this are stupid. They're clinging on to death. I'm not that fatalistic. It's funny. It's not that the market doesn't have problems. It has huge problems, but I there's almost like a glee that some people get in kind of discussing how what was the quote unquote old market is dead, is going nowhere. Is that true? Is the current market the old market? Is it a dinosaur that just needs to be put and shot in its head and drug out into the backyard? Or I'm not sure that's what people do with things when they shoot them in the head. At any rate, let's talk about it. Hey everybody, this is Perch. I notice there's a tone in that some people kind of adopt when they're talking about the comic market. That it's clearly dying. It's clearly over. Why don't people just accept it? Why are you clinging on to these old things? Why? You're just dumb. You're dumb for doing that. And it kind of goes along the premise of monthly floppies are dead, paper is dead, only kind of old idiots are clinging on to this. Why are you even bothering? It's going away. There's no point to it. The LCS, it's like dummies run those things. Why would they do that? And I guess my perspective on that is one, that's not really how things ever work. There were people before who said that console gaming was dead. It's a dinosaur. It's going to be shot in the head. Yet somehow Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, they continue to make plenty of money off that industry. It seems to be doing all right. Was weird for me actually. If you're getting into gaming, were the people who were declaring that console games were a dinosaur and dead, and they were using as their evidence for what the world was going to PC gaming, which I mean, that's an interesting segue. I guess everybody likes what they like. It's fine. But I think you can like what you like without, declaring that, the stuff you don't like or the stuff that doesn't appeal to you needs to actually be put out of its misery. That's the part that kind of confuses me a little bit. It's like if you don't like something, don't buy it, don't consume it. You don't have to actively go out and destroy it. Because I'll put it to you this way. Let's for the moment assume that they're correct. Monthly comics is you're clinging on to something that clearly just not sustainable, doesn't work, and it just should go away. Just stop it. Well, if that's true, then why not let the market and the people kind of just decide that for themselves, or write it out as long as they can? It isn't the top selling books. Your Immortal Hulk sells well. Venom sells quite well. These are superhero books. They're horror superhero, or they're whatever. Venom's superhero, fine. But those books are selling fine. When Hickman relaunched X-Men, sold well. Batman selling well. Those are monthly comics. They're selling to a profit. What's not selling well is like the bottom half or bottom third of comics that are selling kind of under 20,000 copies. Those are not selling well. But those comics, by and large, a lot of them, they're aimed at a quote unquote new market. They're not aimed at the old market. They're not aimed at this old dying legacy dying market. They're aimed at the new market, and they're not selling well. And the trades aren't particularly selling well. Some trades are selling, but not those, not the ones we talk about. The days of people saying, well, the reason why they keep relaunching the Wasp is that the trade paperback sales are really strong, but they're not. We've now seen the sales numbers. We've seen it. The series got canceled again. It we can pop that bubble at this point. So follow my logic here. If let's say you believe that superhero comics, monthly superhero comics, are a dying beast, they're just it's over, right? Why then are we putting so much pressure and emphasis and momentum into producing monthly comics for quote unquote a new market that is not appealing to that old legacy market? Like, why are people coming into the old dinosaur market to do new things that does not appeal to the old dinosaur crowd? But it's a dying, extinct market, so it's not going to appeal to the new crowd either. Who is it appealing to? It's appealing to no one. And right now, if the comic industry basically went and put a hatchet to the bottom third of the comics, just said, you know what, the ones that are not selling in the bottom third, those are all gone now. Yes, much fewer comics would be sold, but the overall business would be healthier. Now, there's, by the way, this is why this argument is not good for like a 10-minute video, because you could certainly argue that, hey, some of these new efforts can find lives in other mediums. Some of these efforts will, be future IP. Maybe they're not catching on today, but they'll catch on tomorrow. All those things are true, sure. But the paradox to me is that on one hand, people are saying, hey, monthly comics, floppies, those are a dying breed. They're not going to work. So anybody defending that or trying to get involved in that, stupid. But simultaneously, these same people will defend books that are selling in the like 10,000 copies or less as important, and stop complaining about them, stop ragging on them. But those are at the bottom tier of this unhealthy market. Why are we trying to support and prop up the bottom tier of a market that is, people say is going extinct, as opposed to doubling down and trying to make more money off of the top half of comics? Why wouldn't you put more effort there? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like maybe that the entire business is going to go extinct anyway, but you don't just turn away from money. The top half of the books are profitable. They are actually making money. They're making progress. They're actually selling. And until that starts to change, it seems pointless to kill it. You're still making a profit. You're still making a good profit. It's not like you could take these people and this effort and just, say, wow, we're wasting their efforts over here. We should put them in this other area where we'll make 5 times the money. If you know what that other area is and you can prove it is making 5 times the money, then by all means go do it. But today I'm not seeing it. It doesn't seem to exist. So what are we moving people into? Or are we just saying, screw it, this is an old extinct legacy business. Yeah, it's still making some money now, but not as much as it probably should. So let's just kill it all. Instead, let's produce graphic novels. We can do that, but is there any proof that the graphic novels are actually going to sell either? Like, there's been a lot of OGNs, there's been digital first efforts that have come out from the big 2 US publishers, and they have by and large flopped, and flopped hard. So why do we want to double down and put all the effort there? That doesn't make financial sense. And as far as the LCS is concerned, look, if you are going to open up a business, go nuts. It's your dollar. Like, you're not invested in that. You don't need to protect somebody from themselves. If somebody wants to open up an LCS today in this market and sell monthly comics, go for it. I mean, if they lose money, it's not like you have to bail them out if they lose money, if they go out of business. I mean, if it really, gives you a hate boner to do it, you can sit back and laugh when they go out of business, but I don't know what the point of that would be either. It seems like kind of their business, their business. It's their business, their business. It's just weird to me. I don't think the monthly comic market is extinct or a dinosaur or bad. I think there are flaws in it. I think that we need to figure out digital. I think we need to figure out more distribution. I think all those things are true if we want it to grow. But if you want to get really cold and really cynical about the monthly comic business and stop trying to forecast this potential future where it all goes away, because no smart business person will say, hey, this business, we believe it might die in the future. It's doing okay now, not doing as well as it could, but it's doing all right. The 2/3 of the comics are profitable, 1/3 is not. Let's kill all of it. Let's just cancel everything because we should make more money than this. So let's just cancel it all. Nobody with any business sense would do that. That is stupid. So, again, what is your plan? I see a lot of people talking about how, the monthly market is dead and it's not going to work anymore, and we should give up on it. It's a dying business, and blah blah blah. Don't worry about it. You'll get your stuff in other mediums. The superheroes you'll be able to buy it somewhere else and be fine. Okay, cool. Where? Seriously, but where? If there's a great idea for where this stuff needs to go, like, we're all waiting. Now is the time. Raise your hand. Do it. But you can't take a niche business and say this is the future. We're just going to go all in on this. Like, for example, I've seen some people say we should just cancel all the physical monthly comics or not make enough money and just do everything with digital and everything with streaming. Hey, right now, two companies that are heavily invested in streaming and entertainment are Disney and AT&T. If they thought that would make them more money and that would be successful, it would happen tomorrow. DC would not be going through all this garbage. They would just call it a day. Like right now, they would not wait. The fact that these two corporate giants are not doing this, the fact that they are still in this business and try to figure out, I'm not gone all in on digital, indicates that they haven't worked out. They don't believe that's a successful plan or not. Now, granted, Dog 43, whatever. Like, I scramble around for a fictional username in my head. I look out the window, there's a dog. I'm like, Dog 43. There we go. One number higher than Douglas Adams' answer to the life, universe, and everything. If you think you have a better idea, a better plan, better than those companies, again, send them your resume. Get out there. Go make the money. The challenge with saying, hey, you know what? The old market is dead. Let's pack it in, is that you have to have somewhere to go to. If your argument is just, it's dead, it's old fashioned, I don't want to deal with it anymore, well, yeah, you're a bit of a narcissist then. I'm sorry to say it. I mean, no offense, but you're a bit of a dick if your opinion is, I don't like it, therefore nobody can have it. That's a weird take. That's not a good approach for you. Again, everybody's welcome to their own opinion, but when you're trying to chart a business out, you can't do the, hey, lols, this business is it's dead, it's legacy, so let's just bail from it. Here's this other thing, and this other thing you're pointing to either doesn't exist or has no cash to it. If you went all in on digital right now, it would be a bloodbath. There's not even, like, digital doesn't even remotely scratch the surface of physical sales. Now, it would be wonderful if it did. It should. And by the way, nobody say, oh yeah, he's a local comic shop owner, so of course he's going to say something like this. No. I don't want to run a business into the ground. I don't want to run a dying business. I'm constantly thinking about ways to make more money, to get involved and do other things. And plenty of people do have that answer and do just fine. I'm not opposed to new ideas, but there has to be new ideas that are viable. The new idea can't be, hey, we'll just put out some digital stuff and have kind of an indie comics feel, and everything can be kind of like Scott Pilgrim and cool. There's not a lot of money in that. There's less money in that than this old extinct legacy comic business. But I'll ask again, and I mean it as a serious, legitimate question. If you think that the old monthly comic business is a dinosaur and dead, then why do you care so much when fans say, readers say, hey, we want it to feel more like the 80s? Why should you care? Let them enjoy their nostalgia 80s bait of comics. Bring in Jim Shooter and have him manage the last days of Marvel Comics. They just squeeze every dollar out of the next 10 years or whatever it happens to be to make money in the old way, out of those dumb old dinosaurs that keep giving money to stuff that is stupid and dying. Just ride it to extinction. Why not? Like, why do people, if it's dead and it's dumb and it's stupid, why do people fight it so hard? Why do they fight about why these ideas are stupid? Why? It doesn't make any sense to me. If you want your new comic, you want your thing on digital, you love it, web comics are great and all the rest, then buy it, go for it, and be happy. The world's moving in your favor. Who cares what the old a-hole dinosaurs do? It's not your problem, right? I don't know. I don't get it. It feels like a paradox to me. What do you think? Why do people get all up in arms about this? And if monthly is truly dying, what's it going to be replaced by? Legitimately, what's it going to be? Please do not come and say, well, it's going to be replaced by digital original graphic novels and YA. It's like, you know, don't think so. You know, there's that YA content's pretty strong in certain areas, but it's not everything. And you don't just, as Marvel and DC and many other publishers have shown us, you don't just announce, I'm doing YA, and the millions of dollars roll in. Most YA efforts fail today. Far more fail than succeed. And finally, in the harshest possible sense, if you wanted to, snap to higher profitability, why wouldn't you just cut the bottom third of your line and call it a day? If that's our problem, why not? I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, downvote, tell me I'm wrong, all that kind of stuff. By all means, but bring your argument. Thanks for listening.